Oh, hello. Hi. Sorry. Sound is down. Hello, hello. How are you all? Let me see who's here. I've got Christine and Nathan. Hello. Bye. Good morning. Cindy and George. Good morning. Lauren. Hello. Nancy. Good morning. Martha from Chicago. Good morning. Michael. Good morning. Lynn and Dave. Really amazing, right? So there's one, two, three couples so far. And Angie and Dan watch most of the videos. They're usually live and then they watch recorded. So they're probably out there. Steve is out there. Joy is out there. Um, they email me often. Maybe even Lee is watching today. Stevie, Jerry. I'm thinking of people that aren't able to text with me. So nice to have you all here. George, I didn't even realize that you sent me jokes. I was just looking. For those of you that are in class, George is our weekend jokester to give us a little chuckle. I'm going to read one because I didn't get to go through them yet, and I like to go through them before I read them so that I can deliver them and decide that I want to say them because I won't say anything that's inappropriate um, in terms of sexually or politically. So I like to look through them first. But I am going to use this first one because I think it's kind of cute. Um, Here's the joke from George. I became nervous when I saw the gardener weed whacking my lawn. It made me very edgy. So, okay, that's the one joke for today. Sorry, we're cutting it down to one today. So, how are you all doing? George Martin is here. Hi, George. George number two. Well, I guess you guys are both George. So happy to have you here. This is the second week of the new series for Torrance. Most of you are from Torrance. So just to kind of just to give you a frame of reference of where we would be if life was normal, our new normal. And just a little information for those of you that haven't heard me say this before. Hi, Carolyn. Is that Torrance Memorial is going to attempt to have online Zoom classes. And some of you have been in that class. We did 2 weeks of that. So starting middle of August, they're going to host one session 4 weeks to see how it goes. And then maybe, more sessions. I'm only going to teach one class on Zoom for Torrance because I'm not sure yet how things are going to go. So for now, for this month, here we are with my 6 live classes on YouTube, donation based. So I'm going to figure out in September how do I create some kind of structure for my classes so that on March 10th, that kind of was it for me in terms of a job and a way to share yoga. So trying to figure out what the format for me is going to look like in this virtual space. And so this is us for 4 months so far. It'll be 5 months when August ends. I'm not going anywhere. I will always be teaching and sharing this wisdom because I believe that this is how we will stay happy and healthy as we age. Yoga is a self care modality and it is a wellness modality. So we can go about our aging process, and part of that process is to lose bone density, to lose muscular strength, to lose range of motion, flexibility. And that will happen if we do nothing. And I would like to share tips so that you could do something, tools so that you could do something. And then on that deeper level, which is why I'm going to kind of separate out what it is I teach, I'm going to have this very physical asana based body preservation. And of course, I always bring meditation, breath work into my classes. I want to go a little deeper with that for those of you that would like to go deeper with some of the wisdom of yoga to understand the spiritual soul energetic levels of you and preserving that as you age. So it's more that what I'm going to start offering is more of an expansion of what I've been offering, not that I'm going to. Okay, so for today's practice, anything you guys want to tell me? I love when you guys fill me in. It's interesting. So I just want to tell you, I noticed the Jill was out here. Okay, so somebody emailed me Tuesday night to tell me about their back and how they had done something, they're not sure exactly, they were gardening or something, and they did something, and their back was really sore. So I made that Wednesday class specific to that need. So he told me his low back, one side of his back was sore, told me some of the patterns or movements he was doing. So my intention in that Wednesday class was thinking about that. Now we all have a back, so we can all benefit. And then, and I didn't even tell him that I was doing that class for him. And he sent me another email saying it was exactly what I needed. And I got out of pain because he was in pain before that. And he said he hadn't experienced pain like that a long time. So it does matter to me when you guys send me your issues and your tissues. It used to happen when we were live and you would come to me before class or after. So it really is helpful. And just if there are any physical issues. And then, of course, because we all have body parts that somebody may be suffering from, maybe this is a way to ward yourself off from ever having an issue in that area. So, um, anyway, so here we go. Stress reduction. Today's class, I want to use a chair, have some stuff planned. So if you can grab a chair and preferably one that doesn't have arms, that actually, I don't even think it matters if it has arms. So get a chair. I don't want to limit you. And it's going to be used to put your legs on to release tension in the low back. And then it's also going to be used to stand, to do just a short standing sequence that I really love and use often myself. So if you could grab a chair, please, and block. Hi, Lauren. So Lauren's here from somewhere up north, California, and Martha is in Chicago. Um, okay, tight sciatica. So, um, so always tight in the part of your body that the sciatic nerve travels through. Thinking about that aspect of us, that if we were a sausage, just say we were just a sausage and we had a wrapping around us, on the outside of the sausage would be all of the vessels and the nerves. And so you have meat and you have fascia, so muscles and fascia, and you have blood vessels and nerves and lymphatic vessels in that space. So when we do our movement in our practice, we actually create the opportunity for the release of that tension. So it's not so squished. And if you think about a garden hose, unkinking your hose so that the flow of the water would be fluid. So that's what we'll focus on as well. Um, so cute. Martha and Lauren, I believe, wait, yeah, are sisters in different parts of the country. Okay, Menlo Park. Okay, perfect. All right. So without further ado, Lauren, I recommended that today we're going to be using a chair. So if you could grab a chair. And if you don't want to use a chair, if you feel pretty strong with your balance to do a standing, we're going to do a little standing thing. If you don't have a chair and it's not near you, you don't want it, you could also put your legs up the wall. Whatever, we're going to begin with a deep relaxation in the hip joint. We're going to take away pressure from the pelvis. Pelvic placement in our body has an effect on what's above and what's below. So, whatever musculature, whatever connective tissue is happening in the pelvis, meaning the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, whatever way your pelvis is being held by your connective tissue, it will have an effect on spine, rib cage, and everything above. And it'll have an effect on hip joint, knee joint, ankle joint, feet. So this area here, like the fulcrum of the bar for the teeter totter, that would be right here, the teeter totter above and below. We're going to begin by balancing out whatever is happening in the pelvis. And that's why I want the elevation of the legs. It's a great thing for you guys to realize. So that if you are in a place of discomfort, pain and discomfort in your body from movements, from whatever, this is a great way to bring yourself out of that. So I like to share with you tools that you can use in your life when you're not in an hour and 15-minute live class. For those of you that have access to an egg block, please get this right now. If you don't have it with you, we'll do a little neck release. For those of you without one, don't worry, I'll give options. And then please have a block handy. That's another good thing for today. So props for today is a rectangle block, an egg if you have it, and a blanket. And then we're going to begin with the chair. And if you do not have a chair, the other option would be a wall. So you could be up a wall or you could be on the chair. So you're going to come down onto the mat, bringing your legs up the chair. And the thing about legs up the chair, and I'd like you to really make sure that this happens. I walk around class usually adjusting chairs to get this to happen. The back of the knee is where the support begins. So if your soles of your feet are up against the back of the chair and your knees are close to your body, that's not going to work. I want complete release of the legs. So you're not holding, your body's not holding. So you may need to turn your chair to the side if it has a back and your feet can't go through the back of the chair. Turn the chair to the side so that your legs, your calves are fully supported. And the femur bone can relax deep in the hip joint, which will bring that relaxation that I'm looking for, that release of tension, that release, that stress reduction aspect of whatever's being held in the pelvis, bringing your pelvis into a position of relaxation. This is a great thing to do if you've spent a day gardening and your back is sore, or any other activity and the back is sore. Support your head with a blanket. And you could separate your knees a little here. So have the knees be a little separated so the knees feel like they're actually rolling out to the sides a little. Don't do a muscular movement to get there. Allow this to flop into your joints. So it's passively found in the body. You're not using muscles to direct it there. You're allowing it to be passive. Then you're going to feel that sacral area, the middle of the pelvis pressing into the floor, feel that nice foundation. Bring the arms out to the side at first. I like bent elbows, and try to bring the elbows kind of closer to the waist than I usually recommend. So this will bring more external rotation in the shoulder joint. Nice for those of you with shoulder issues because it keeps the shoulder pretty low. There's not a lot of elevation in the shoulder. And that external rotation is really stretching some of those rotator muscles that attach the arm onto the body, or that whole shoulder blade area towards the arm. You're going to close your eyes here. And let's tap into the place of feeling. So first, I'd like you to explore your body and just notice what you notice. Yoga is the connection of the mind, the body, and the soul. It's when we stop the activity of movement, of thinking, of doing, and we become a human being without any stimulation from ourselves or anything external. So as you allow yourself to just be, notice any sensations. If you have a particular area in your body that usually is distracting, causing discomfort or pain, can you notice right now where that pain level or sensation level is, 0, 1 to 10? From 0 to 10, where is that? And then you're going to bring your awareness now to the posterior side of the body, the back of the body. I'd like you to bring your awareness to your calves. Can you notice here the weight of the left calf in the chair? The weight of the right calf in the chair? This won't work for those of you with legs up the wall. This is an awareness piece for those of you that have the angle, the 90-degree angle, or an angle in the knee joint. Feel the calves on the chair. Notice if the ankles are touching the chair. Notice if one ankle is heavier than the other ankle. This can give a little indication of hip joint placement, pelvic positioning. Just notice. For those of you with legs up the wall, feel the weight of your heels or calves up against the wall. And you're just observing, there's no judgment here. So leave the I out of it, which is the ego, which is you getting involved in an egoic sense. In this body scan, there's more of an observation piece of you as a witness, as opposed to the identification of my leg, my heel, my calf. So just notice the calves, the heels. Bring your awareness up to the feeling of those upper leg bones sinking into the hip joint. Bring your awareness to your low back. Notice your low back, especially those of you with issues in that area. Bring your awareness to your rib cage, to the spine and to the shoulder blades. Lower ribs, are both lower ribs making contact with the floor? Upper rib cage, do you feel pressure in both sides of the rib cage to the floor? Weight of the left arm to the floor and weight of the right arm to the floor, is it equal? This will give you an indication of potential rotation in the spine or movement in the spine, tightness in one side versus the other. And then bring your palms onto your belly. Let both hands rest on your belly. You could spread your fingers. Let the pinky fingers be low, close to where the legs attach to the body. And begin to direct the breath low and deep in the body so that you feel your hands moving as you breathe. I'm going to count an equal paced breath today. 4, 4, 4, 4. When we even out our breath, we are signaling the nervous system that the coast is clear. And when our nervous system feels that the coast is clear, it will switch into the zone of healing, repairing, and restoring. We are in the zone of fight, flight, and flee or freeze. more often than we should be these days. It's the nature of our lifestyle, our technology, all that we have access to. So, this is your opportunity to signal the nervous system that everything is okay. You could repair, heal, and restore. So, I'll count a couple of rounds. I'll let you go on your own. There's going to be a 4 for the inhale, a 4 to hold the breath, a 4 to exhale, and a 4 to hold the breath out. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue on your own, counting in your mind. Keep your mind busy with counting. Feel the belly rise on the inhale. Feel the belly contract back to the spine on the exhale. Try to take 2 more breaths without letting the mind be distracted. Give it counting to focus on and feeling the body rise and fall. Finishing your last breath. Let the breath go back to natural. Notice your heart beating if you're able to detect the heartbeat. Notice the pace of the heart. Notice the feeling of the body, of the mind, the quality of the mind. Is it relaxed? Quality of the heart, quality of the sensations of the body. Heavy, light, hard, soft, hot, cold. Bring your awareness to your fingers, to your toes. And then begin to start to move the body. So you could bring the knees into the chest, let the legs compress against the low belly. Bring your legs in the air, bring your arms overhead. If your legs are on the wall, bring your legs away from the wall. Roll your ankles, roll your wrists. Point your feet, flex your feet. Then bring yourself into a happy baby. So first spread your legs. Then you bend your knees towards your armpits. Reach your arms around. Hold on to the backs of the legs. Draw the knees in very deeply. Adds flexion to lower lumbar, presses that low back into the floor. If you could reach up and grab your feet, go ahead. Not everyone can, and this is the beginning of class, so there's not a lot of warmth in the muscles yet. Rocking side to side if you can. Not a big deal if you can't. And then bring yourself onto your side. Using your hand on the floor, looking down at the floor, leading with that shoulder. Push yourself up to a seated position. And then let's take the chair off to the side. Have your props handy, your rectangle block, your egg block, rectangle if that's all you have. Bring yourself onto, we're going to come all the way down actually. I was thinking I wasn't frozen. So you have osteoporosis, you're going to reach your hand to the side to keep that back from rounding. And then if you don't, you want to do a little challenge, you're going to challenge yourself coming down through the spine, tailbone, sacrum. Try to press that low lumbar towards the floor first. And then the lower ribs all the way up to the head. Let's roll out the neck first. So for those of you with the egg block, you're going to take your egg block, lift up your head. The egg goes in the center of the head. You pull the shoulders away, bring the shoulder blades towards the spine. Set yourself up for a very nice long neck. If you don't have an egg block, you could try this with a rectangle. And if you don't have a rectangle block, you could fold your blanket up a little in double. This is to warm up the muscles of the upper back, the head, and the neck. Take your hands down alongside your body. Really reach them away. Palms are up towards the sky. Keep your knees bent. The knees fall in towards each other. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly allow your chin to move towards one shoulder. So don't pick it up off the block and try to move it to the side. I want it to lengthen to the side. You inhale back up to center. You exhale in the other direction. Nice and slow. Inhaling back up to center. Exhale towards the shoulder. On the rectangle block, on the egg block, or on an elevated blanket. So there's a little length in the neck here as you go side to side. Go slow. Feel whatever you're feeling. The next time that your head comes over to the right, you're going to keep your head there to the right. Let it stay there. Let gravity move the head towards the right. Feel that length on the left side. Some of you may feel some stuff on the right as well. On your next inhalation, bring your head up to center, and as you exhale, let your head go to the left. Nice and slow. Explore the range of motion in your neck. On your next inhalation, come back up to center. You're going to reach up to grab your block. Contract your core. So the core, I want you to think about the core as either a sea anemone, where everything moves towards the center and then down towards the spine. So when you protect your low back, you think about hugging that lumbar spine with all of the bones. All the muscles below the ribs and right where the legs attach the body. Think about everything wrapping towards center to hug and to protect that lumbar spine. Most of this is on the top of the spine, the front of the spine. Think about it either as hugging the spine, as the sea anemone, as squeezing a big juicy navel orange to try to get all the juice out of it, or as zippering up the midsection. You'd have to draw in and up, in and up, in and up. Contract your core to protect your body as you lift your heavy 10-pound head in a supine position against gravity up to take the block out. That's why you need that protection of your core. So many times we move without thinking, and then we get issues or injuries and we wonder why. Well, 10-pound head with gravity force pushing down on it without any kind of protection for lumbar spine, that's a lot of stuff for that lumbar spine to deal with, right? And it deals with that kind of stuff all day long. So raise your awareness to what you're doing to your body. So think, I want to begin with like wringing out the towel. So if you were a washcloth, your body was a washcloth full of water, we're wringing out the water. We did that rotational movement in the head and neck. Now we're going to bring that into the entire spine. So you're going to bring the knees into the chest, let the knees go over to the right side. Now, for some of you, it's hard to keep the upper body on the floor when you do this, depending how much tightness is in your body. You may need to put something underneath your knees. It could be a blanket, a pillow, a towel, a block, or in between your knees. Blanket, pillow, towel, block. Try something. For some of you, you could do it without anything. You're going to let your right hand go on top of your left knee. Your legs are to the right. Right hand is on the top of the left knee, and then reach your left arm away from you. Feel that stretch. Maybe you feel this on your armpit area. Maybe you feel it in your hip area. So for that sciatic nerve tightness, the lower body is where you would like to feel that, to stretch that. To experience this a little deeper, move your top leg or your top left pelvis away from the bottom left ribs. That's going to give you more stretch in the lower extremities. Don't let that left top pelvis or waist come upward towards the low ribs. Push it away with the muscles inside the body. Reach left hand away. If you'd like to straighten the left leg, try that. Straightening the left leg. So this is not straightening the left leg is not for everyone. Now, when I'm in class, sometimes I'll come up with my fingers and I will, standing up here, I will draw that hip away. If you draw this leg away from you with the muscles of your body, you're going to feel a nice stretch. You're going to feel movement down into the pelvic area, the side leg area. So see if you could experience that by creating a feeling of that left hip bone moving away from you. You could even, try that. Take one more breath. When you move to the other side, I'd like you to bring your knees closer to your chest so that there's a flexion in the lower lumbar and not moving through extension. You're going to allow your legs to move over to the left. Right arm stays to the right. Try to get the right shoulder to come close to the floor or touch the floor if you can. It may not. This is just something you're trying. And then creating that space in the waist, so low ribs, top pelvis, you're creating space by moving that top leg bone and that pelvis away from you. Do it with the muscles. Find it inside your body. If you need to put a block between your legs, between your legs and the floor, whatever you need, find it. Breathe down to your belly. Take one more breath. And then you're going to bring your knees back up to your chest. So twists are actually pretty strong poses. They're really relaxing, good for the nervous system. Great way to get space between rib cage and pelvis. Got to be careful. You've got to have some body awareness there and how you move your body when you're doing them. Bring your feet onto the floor. Let's do my favorite windshield wiper. Take your feet off of your mat so your legs are really wide here. And you're going to allow one knee at a time to fall in towards the middle. That when the knee falls in towards the middle, you're lengthening the hip flexor muscles, you're lengthening the quadriceps, you're creating a little bit more space in your waist, creating more space for the fluids, the vessels, the nerves to travel through that tissue, the fascia, the muscles, the all of it. Blood is connective tissue. So the blood connecting everything, connective tissue, creating more space for that connective tissue to be more, to connect and to allow the connections, to be nice and fluid. Let your arms be out to the side. The next time you come to the left, stay there. Reach the right hand off the floor. Reach the right leg away from you. Find as much length as you can on your right side. So your feet are off the mat. I want your legs to be really wide here. Then you're going to take an inhale. Now pay attention because some of you don't do this. I'm going to try to talk slow and guide you nicely. Your legs are to the left. You're going to contract your core. Make sure your low back, or make sure your right tushy cheek, if it is away from the floor, you start to push your right tushy cheek towards the floor. So you're going to take a little bit of the rotation out of your pelvis. You're going to contract your core, lift your right foot up, hold on to your right ankle. Here's the pretzel yoga stuff. Take your right foot on top of your left inner thigh. You're holding onto your right ankle. You're going to push your right knee away from you. Keep your right arm up towards the sky. Lots of lower lumbar pelvic adjusting taking place here. Psoas is attached to all 5 lumbar vertebrae. You're stretching and lengthening your psoas, lengthening your waist muscles. Stay where you are. I'm going to do this on the other side to show you what it looks like. Maybe I should have done this side first. You have your foot on top of your thigh. Your right hand is on your left ankle. Your left leg is on the floor, and you're pushing your right knee away from you with the muscles in the body, and you're reaching your right arm away from you. You should feel a pretty nice stretch on that right frontal hip joint, on that right waist, maybe underneath the right armpit, right shoulder blade area. This is doing a lot of potential movement and freedom in that low back as you lengthen your filet mignon. Take one more breath, your psoas. You're going to bring yourself back up to center. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, and then place it back down onto the floor. Legs are wide as your mat. You're going to let your legs fall over to the right. You're going to let your left tushy, push your left tushy towards the floor. So when the legs go over to the right, left tushy cheek probably comes away from the floor because the legs are pretty wide, the spread. So push the left tushy cheek to the floor to lift the left leg, to grab onto the left ankle, to place the left foot on top of the right inner thigh. Left arm is out to the left, and you're pushing the left knee away from you with the muscles of the body. This is the position that helped me heal my hip after my hip replacement. This gives a lot of space in that hip joint. And I felt a lot of lower spinal movement when I did the other side. Because I think you guys, I've mentioned that I'm dealing with some pelvic instability from having one hip replacement and one natural hip that is dysplasia. So I am a work in progress, as we all are. And I'll take away the I and I'll say work in progress is happening here. Press that left leg away. Feel the stretch in that left waist area. This is good for those of you with the low back issues to learn how to not have those low ribs so close to the top of the pelvis. Take one more breath. And then this is taking sitting out of the body. Bring yourself back to center. So I think that on my Saturday class, yoga and stress reduction, for me, it's how do I take sitting out of your body? For those of you that sit a lot, especially because some of the people that come here work during the week. Let's bring your knees into your chest, rock yourself side to side. With all that twisting, the counter pose for the spine is back bend. So let's come into a back bend. We're going to do a bridge. Take your blanket away from your head, grab your rectangle block, bring your rectangle block between your knees. Bring your rectangle block between your knees. Walk your feet closer to your body. Take your head and lengthen your head so that it's the center and a little bit below that you feel touching the mat. Your back neck is very long. Maybe your chin comes down towards your chest a little bit. Take your arms overhead. Take an inhale here. You're going to contract your core and press your belly button to your spine so your low back flattens. Your tailbone points up towards the wall away from you. Make sure your feet are only block distance. Squeeze the block with the knees. Contract your core, push your belly button to your spine. Now squeeze your tushy cheeks. As you exhale, you're going to lift your pelvis off the floor and bring your arms down alongside your body. Don't look side to side here. Nose stays pointing up towards the sky the whole time. Inhale to lower. Exhale, let the low back touch the floor first. Squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy, lift yourself up. So spinal undulation through this back bend. Feel your spine moving through flexion and extension. Go slow, close your eyes. Feel yourself like your spine is like writhing like a snake. Of course, a harmless snake that's cute. For those of you that are scared of snakes, if there is such a thing as a cute snake, I think they're kind of cute. Inhale to lower, arms go overhead. Exhale, flatten the low back. Last one. Lengthen the back neck, flatten the low back, squeeze the block, squeeze the tushy. Bring yourself all the way up. Stay here. Let your nose stay pointing up to the sky. Don't look side to side. If you'd like to slide your shoulder blades closer towards each other, and then press your hands into the floor, squeeze your block, squeeze your tushy. Lift your pelvis a little higher, draw your knees away from you. Lengthen the back of the neck. Feel that the weight is coming into the upper back area. Feel that the weight is waterfalling towards the upper back. And feel that tension in the back of the body. The glutes, the low back, strengthening, protection, support for low back, support for that pelvis, support for the spine. Squeeze the tushy, lengthen the knees away. If you could take 5 more breaths, I know that's a lot, do it. If you can't, come down whenever you need to. When you are ready to come down, you'll go nice and slow, pressing one spinal bone into the floor at a time, coming up onto your tippy toes before you get to the low back, so that you could let the low back touch the floor first before the top edge of the pelvis if you can. When you feel the weight going into your sacrum and the neutral spine coming in, you're going to take that block out. Place the block underneath your pelvis. Try to get the top ridge. The top ridge. I'm actually going to turn my block today vertical so that it's the narrow way that's in my body as opposed to horizontal. Maybe something to try to see how you like that. Make sure the sternum bone is pressing up towards the sky. Don't look side to side. Try to get the top edge of the pelvis to touch the block. The block is not on the low back. Another opportunity to create space in between the pelvis and the rib cage, this time at the back of the body. Close your eyes, giving your heart a break here. This is counterindicated for uncontrolled high blood pressure. If it's uncontrolled. If you have high blood pressure that's controlled, this is okay to do. Allowing the fluids to come up to the heart, giving the heart a little break. If you'd like to take this a little deeper, you could actually bring your legs up into the sky. These poses are called inversions. And if you'd like, you could come into an inversion with your legs up towards the sky, or you could stay with your legs on the floor. Take deep breaths here, close the eyes. Allow the body to stimulate parasympathetic nervous system here. Take one more breath. You're going to walk your feet a little closer. You're going to press your feet into the floor. Feel that tension leave the sacral area where the block was touching the body. Bring the feet and the body down into the floor. Bring the knees into the chest. Lengthen the back of the neck. There's no blanket underneath the head here. So for some of you, this may be uncomfortable. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Try to lengthen that upper back. And then rock to your right side. Using your hand, leading with the shoulder, you're going to bring yourself up to all fours. You're going to take your blanket, folding your blanket, coming on to all fours. Settle your joints here, having your hands a little wide, a little forward, taking your body back and forth, side to side, and then take your body forward and back. And then see how it feels to go around in a circle. So you would bring your body up towards one hand, take your body over to the other hand, push your body weight back to that side hip or knee, take it over to the other knee, and then forward to the hand. See if that circular pattern feels okay in your body in one direction. And then let's switch. And then bring yourself through neutral. Let's bring yourself all the way up. You know what's really interesting? I was just thinking to myself, if I didn't practice yoga, when else would I be rolling through my shoulder and hip joint like that? I find it such a fascinating practice to actually think about our body in this self-care aspect. It's fascinating to me. Okay, we're gonna stretch our wrists and our feet. So if you can flip your toes under like this, and if you could sit back on top of your heels, that's one option. Okay, So toes are flipped under, you're sitting on your feet. It's really nice to stretch the feet. Another option is to sit on the feet, and that's gonna have the front of your feet, top of your feet, maybe saying something to you. So find that. For those of you that the knees don't like to bend, you could try to see if you could put a block in between your heels and your tushy. That may actually be enough to support this position in your body. Whatever it is, wherever you're tight, I'd like you to go to your comfortable edge. Maybe that's a good way to say that word. Comfortable edge. Find your comfortable edge in one of these things. You're either stretching your feet, and choose the one that's the most difficult. So if it's the knees that don't like to bend, that's not where I want you to go. I want you to stay up if your knees don't like to bend. But these other things, if your feet feel like crazy stretch here, do that. And if your tops of your feet feel crazy stretch here, choose that one. But of course, with the knees, you're going to stay up. And then wherever you are, we're going to stretch our wrists. So bring the right hand forward and then flex the wrist. So it's a pretty strong flexion of that wrist joint. Take the left hand and put the left hand behind the palm. So not where the fingers are, where the back of the hand is. And you're going to keep the arm straight. Push the hand towards the body. Feel that stretch on the top of the forearm. And make sure that your right shoulder doesn't become a shoulder earring. So let the shoulder lower down. Take your left hand or your right hand and go like this, like stop. Like you're telling somebody, no, 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 stop, stop, stop. Do like a stop sign. So you have a pretty strong movement in your wrist there. Take the left hand and pull the hand towards you. The heel is moving away from you. So feel this now underneath here. Make sure you feel it pretty strongly. So I'm really taking my hand and moving my hand a lot so that I feel that stretch there. Let's do the other hand. Bend the wrist, feel top arm. And then the other way. Make sure you don't have a left shoulder earring here. So lower that shoulder. Take one more breath. And then take your wrists, roll your wrists out in one direction, roll them in the other. Okay, we are going to do our plank challenge, our 1 minute plank. Up to you how long you want to stay in this, and up to you which variation you want to do. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves, our feet back, both of them if you're coming into the full plank. If you need to modify, modify. Pointer fingers are forward. Feet are just about hip distance apart, and then make sure all 10 toes are touching. Push your body weight back. There's a play here between forward and back in the plank. Push your body weight back so you distribute the weight to the back body. And then for those of you that are doing a 3-legged plank, if you'd like to try to take one hand off the floor for a breath or two, and then trying the other hand off the floor for a breath or two, make sure you push your feet in like crazy if you're doing that. And then if you'd like to try the feet, I think the feet are a little easier. So if you're going to try anything, try 1 foot at a time. And this is really lovely. Go ahead and switch to strengthen the hip flexor muscle group, which is supportive for knee joints and for hip joints. Lengthen out the crown of the head, lengthen out the tailbone. Take one more breath. And then let's go ahead and bring the knees down to the floor. Bring yourself up. Take your hands to the side. Let's inhale and then exhale, hug yourself. Inhale, exhale, hug yourself. Take your arms down alongside your body. Inhale up, let your gaze go up, stretch your tissue. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, palms are up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale one more time. Keep your hands up. Take your left hand down alongside your body. Reach your right hand up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel that stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. Reach over towards the side. If you feel your low back, contract your belly. Come into a posterior tilt. So press the belly button back towards the spine. Bring yourself up. Let's do the other side. Reach, 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 and reach. If this is your left side you're stretching, push your left leg into the floor and reach your left hip up. Create as much space on that side as possible. And then bring yourself back to center. For those of you that want to come up straight from here, you're going to bring one foot forward and bring yourself up. And then for those of you that want a little bit more, let's come through a down dog plank. So take your hands on the floor, walk your knees back, flip your toes under, take an inhale, push your fingertips into the floor, exhale, push your tushy in the air, bring your head between your arms, but look forward, don't look down, so you don't want to round that upper back. And let's stretch our calves here, taking one heel at a time towards the floor, bending the knee deeply. Take one heel towards the floor. Stretching the back of your body here. You're going to inhale to bring yourself. Exhale, push your belly button back up towards your spine. Gaze is forward. Inhale forward. Feel the stretch through the body. Feel the back body stretch. Bending the knees as much as you need to here. Inhale forward. Last one. Exhale back. Push both legs straight. Look like with your eyes straight down from your nose. Try not to look back to the feet here. Take one more breath. Then bend the knees. Bring your hands back. Let your feet touch the floor. Feet touch the floor. Bring one hand on top of one thigh, one hand on top of the other. Back is nice and flat. Take an inhale here. And then exhale. Push yourself slowly, slowly, slowly to standing. Okay, grab your chairs. So we're going to do a warrior dance, which is weighted. When you stand up, you're putting weight into the stretch in the body. So this is a way to deeply stretch the muscles of the whole pelvic area. So the leg muscles that attach to the pelvis, low back gets stretched here as well, side body, just really, really nice. Working today, I think a lot on creating more space between the ribs and the pelvis, and this is going to be even more of that. So the reason why, I'm just going to show you this. The reason why I have the chair there is we're going to be doing kind of movement in the middle. It's a warrior dance is what we're going to be doing. And so for those of you that feel precarious with your balance, you may need to have a chair in front of you because that'll make you feel a little bit more secure if you need that in front of you. And it's really better to be safe than sorry. And it's better to not think that you could do something or bringing the ego into it. And as we age, the balance becomes a little more precarious for many of us. And then depending on whether you have issues in your tissues, tightness in tissue, maybe I'll do one side with the chair there just so you can see what that would be like. So, and the other thing is I want you to come deep into this pose, into these poses, because the deeper you go with your flexion of your hips, flexion of your knees, the deeper those stretches will be. And if you feel nervous about balance, you're less likely to be very wide in your stance. You'll be more narrow stance, and then you'll have limited range of motion in your bending, your flexion. So take your legs pretty wide. Usually a gauge is that you take your arms out to the side, and usually wherever the wrists are or the ankles are. So there's this alignment and ankles. Take your feet really wide. I'll speak to you as if this is your left side. Toes are pointing forward. I'm going to ask you to pick up the left toes, keep the left leg straight, swivel on the left heel as you move the left leg to point to the left, and then push the right toes into the floor, pick up the right heel, and move the right heel away from you. Legs are still straight here. You're going to push strongly into the right side of the leg, side of the foot. Push the toes into the floor, the heel into the floor, and lift the arch up. So very active right foot. Take your arms to the side with resistance as if you're in a pool full of jello. There's resistance on the arms. Slightly bend the left knee, just a slight bend here. Inhale, bend the left knee as you push strongly with the right foot to get the left knee to bend, pushing the left knee to the left, and then exhale to straighten.
Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. One more time. You're going to inhale to bend. Stay here. Push that right foot into the floor. The right arch is off the floor. Very strong pinky toe edge of the right foot. Look over that left middle finger. Go a little deeper if you can by pushing into your right foot. Notice where your torso is. Don't have your torso forward over that left leg. Your torso needs to be aligned right on top of your pelvis so that you feel weight in the right side foot and in the left foot. Take one more breath here. Slide the arms back so the shoulder blades are on the back of the spine, sliding towards the middle to hold the arms up here. Very strong arms. Take an inhale. Turn the left palm up. And as you inhale, you're going to let the left fingers go up towards the sky and the right fingertips touch the back of the thigh. This is called reverse warrior. Strongly push the right foot into the floor. The right leg is straight. The left knee is bent. Pushing the left knee towards the left, contract the core, protect the lower lumbar. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to come forward into what's called side angle. You take your left hand on top of your left thigh, your right arm up towards the sky. There's a slight, you touch and you make a slight rest or take tension out, and then you lengthen your spine away from you and rotate it forward in your side angle. A little deeper to take that left arm on the inner left knee joint. This is side angle. Pushing into that right leg, make a strong, firm foundation there. And then let's do our dance. Inhale into reverse. Exhale into side angle. Inhale into reverse. Exhale into side angle. One more. Inhale, reverse. Feel that stretch in your waist and then in your low back. Bring yourself back up to your warrior two. Take an inhale, and then let's go ahead and straighten the legs. Let's come out of this for a second. Hopefully, you feel some tension in that right ankle joint area. Strengthening your ankle joints, amazing for balance. Feet up one at a time, go across your body with your legs. This will help to fire up sensory cortex in the brain and get you into a place of balance, since this is a standing sequence. And we're going to come into the other side. Take your feet really wide. You're going to push your right heel into the floor, lift your right toes up, and get the whole leg is straight. As it moves towards the right, the body will move, the pelvis will move. And then the left foot, left toes are in the floor, left heel comes up. Put a slight bend in the right knee. Press into the left foot, left pinky toe edge, left heel, left toes. Lift that left arch off the floor. Arms are moving with resistance. As you inhale, pushing into the left leg to bend the right leg. Exhale. Inhale. Bend that right knee. Last one, stay here. This is your warrior two. You push strongly into that right pinky toe edge, that right the left pinky toe edge, the left outer heel, and you're pushing that right knee to the right. Contract the core to help protect the lumbar spine. Keep your pelvis right on top, torso on top of pelvis. Look over the right middle finger. Take one more breath. Shoulders, turn the right palm up towards the sky, and then inhale, lengthen out that right palm. As you tilt back, put your left hand on the back of your left thigh, reverse warrior. Press down into that left outer edge of the foot. Reach out of that right arm. Feel that stretch on that right side body. Bend the knee a little deeper if you can. Take one more breath. Then you're going to bend the right elbow. Bring the right elbow on top of the right thigh. Bring the left arm up towards the sky, and then rotate, lengthen and rotate the trunk forward. Bend the right knee a little deeper if you can. You could bring the arm on the inside of the knee joint. Let's do our little dance. You're going to inhale into your reverse and then exhale into your side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Last one. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Bring yourself back up to your warrior two, and then straighten the leg. Okay. So here's the thing about when we do the stronger physical work of yoga in the yoga practice, the stronger asanas. The stronger asanas ground the mental energy. So I'm sure that for this last 10 minutes or so, your mind has been so in the moment. Oh my gosh, how much longer am I going to do this? Is this safe for my body? Am I bent down enough? Is my body here? All those thoughts. So it's a way to really ground the mental energy. Let's take the quads. We did some quad work. Don't always do the quad work. Let's bend our quadriceps, bring our heel towards the tushy. The goal here is to have the kneecaps are aligned. Make sure that your leg's not forward or your leg's not back or it's not out to the side. So have it right in alignment. Both femur bones are right next to each other. And be nice and tall. If you want to turn this into a balance, you could take the opposite hand off of whatever, standing on that one leg. This is kind of the precursor for a pose called dancer pose, which is this. When you kick into your hand, you'll come into your dancer pose. So you could come into dancer, you could stay in the precursor for dancer, or you can hold on to the chair. Let's switch other side. Holding on to that foot, chair if you need to, coming into the balance of this if you'd like. Keep your kneecaps right next to each other. Feel that stretch on the quadricep. If you'd like to tip forward into dancer, you could tip forward into dancer. Push the foot into the hand and tilt forward on that standing leg. Or you may just want to be standing in the stretch. Maybe for you, this is enough. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake everything. Kick your legs. Let everything shake, shake, shake. Shake your body. Shake your booty. Okay. We're going down on the ground. You could do legs up the chair again, or you could come into regular Shavasana and let the dust settle with your body all the way on the floor. So find yourself onto the floor. Oh, well, all the time I have for all of that. So you're gonna eventually bring yourself all the way down onto the floor in whichever way is best for your body. Legs are up a chair, legs are up the wall, or coming onto the floor. This is a way for you to make that connection from human being to human being, from human doing. The connection of the small s self, which is the human doing, to the big S self, which is the human being. Just notice your breath, stay connected, be in the moment. Stay here on your mat with me. Don't go into the future. It doesn't exist.
Gently begin to deepen the breath. Start to wiggle your fingers. Close your knees and draw your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. And then all the way onto the right side. Gently pushing yourself up so we can move down. Hands together, the thumbs touch the sternum bone. The sound Om is bringing down through the three sections of the lungs. The Ah, which is the bottom lungs, the O, the middle, and the to the upper lungs. And the sound is created in the throat, middle, and mouth, and lungs. Nice and tall. Take a deep breath down to the belly. We bow to each other in Namaste. Namaste. Which is a mutual respect of noticing each other. That the light that's in me, the divine that's in me, the human beingness that's in me recognizes and honors that same human beingness, divine, or light that exists in you. A little more challenging today, yes. The levels of the yoga practice are about how deeply you bend in your joints. I was thinking of that the standing work, of course, there's more pressure in the gravitational aspect. So it feels harder, and it is. The deeper you go, the more advanced the pose is. So it's up to you to modify what's the appropriate range of motion and place for you to be. And I think, hi Sharon, I think that you'll notice too today, for those of you that did the warrior dance, there's more freedom in the body. So I would love to hear from some of you on things you notice about the practice. I want to create a video of testimonials. I'm going to ask you guys to have a Zoom call with me where I can record what you're saying and put your name down and how long you've practiced. I want to show people, I want to show the world, I want to share yoga therapy with the world, and I want people to see how benefiting and in the way that you are. So that's something you're going to look out for me. I'm going to be emailing or texting or whatever. If you like what's happening, give a thumbs up, please. And then if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please down here, subscribe if you haven't done that already to my channel so you get any news that I'm sharing. And then let me see if there's anything here. Thank you, Michael. It always goes fast. Yeah. Uh, Sharon, welcome back. Yes, I'm back. I'm leaving. I'm going to Tahoe today. I'm leaving in, I guess, 7 hours. I'll be up in Tahoe for the next 4 days. So, for those of you that practice with me on Tuesday and Wednesday, I will be in Lake Tahoe in a beautiful area. So, maybe I'll be outside in the forest with the bears. Um, Lots of freezing. Okay. And I rebooted my internet before too. So, let's see how that happens. Martha, great way to stay strong as we age, right? Um, yes, Sharon, that's what I need to do. I always say that I need to do testimonials, and I'm actually going to do it. But I'd really like it to be a video and in text. Great Vi. Hopefully, there's a lot of freedom in the pathway that the sciatic nerve travels. So hopefully, we freed up that. Um, Yeah, it'll be beautiful. I was there last year. We have friends that have a really nice cabin up there or house or whatever it is, so that'll be nice. Um, Great. And I hope that was good for Dave. And it's really good to stand behind your chair and do this. So even if if your arms aren't up in the whole warrior dance, doing some of that with your arms in the chair. George, thank you. Yeah, it is beautiful there. See, George, Lynn loved the one joke I said. So sorry it was only one. I wasn't prepared. All right. Good. All right. Well, I'm off to pack, and I'll see those of you that I see on Tuesday. I'll see those of you I see on Wednesday, and I'll be back. Oh, yeah. Well, now I'm traveling with my husband and my two girls. So I'm going to Tahoe tonight with my husband and my two daughters. So this will be nice to be. So it's lots of family time. And then my kids are leaving for school, so I'll have nice quiet time, which is great. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next class or whatever. All right, bye. Let me see. Driving. Nope, not driving. I'm going to teleport up there. Thank you, Martha. All right, see you later.